My dear Rebbe, why no one talks about the things that the Holy Rabbi does? You have to ask them that. I don't have more answers than I've already given to you guys over the years. But as we see from Tarat HaKodesh by Rabbi Yaron Reuven, this is not a problem unique to me. This is a problem that was also, in his generation. He actually writes in here in Tarat HaKodesh that if he would publicize what he writes in his book, but if he would publicize it in the synagogues, in the communities, in lectures, he said they would make fun of him. So, and this is literally, anyone that knows anything about Torah knows the Kedusha of Rabbi Yaron Reuven. But in his generation, it's similar to now. You could be a tzaddik surrounded by reshaim. You could be tzaddik surrounded by mediocre people. You could be mediocre with a few tzaddikim next to you. There's a lot of different mix and matches all over the world. The key is to know what the truth is, to have a very strong and, Talmid Chacham as your rabbi, to guide you, to give you answers to questions and confirm whatever things that you're learning, the fact that you're learning the right way. You'll be fine. You don't need the whole world to agree with you. Remember, even Moshe Rabbeinu, that we're only introduced to him in this week's parasha, Moshe Rabbeinu is beginning a life, but he's going to live an entire life full of problems, full of haters, full of people that tell him he's wrong. We learn about him of how, he saves a Jew from being killed by an Egyptian. The very next day, that same Jew and his cousin, or his brother-in-law, which is Datan and Aviram, they go and tell Paro that Moshe Rabbeinu killed the Egyptian. Meaning, the Jew that he saved his life is the same Jew that ends up causing Moshe Rabbeinu to nearly be killed. And they continue torturing him for the next 40 years, this Datan and Aviram. So it's Moshe Rabbeinu had endless fights. Korach and all of his followers, which included Datan and Aviram, he had that. He had a lot of problems. So if Moshe Rabbeinu had people telling him he's wrong, telling him he's a womanizer, he's a thief, all the things that he wasn't, and cause him a lot of anguish, then of course anyone that's living in the world today that is fighting for the truth and has a bunch of people saying that he's crazy, should be proud of it. You're in the same conversation. You're in the same world as Moshe Rabbeinu. You're nowhere near Moshe Rabbeinu, but the point is that you're fighting in your little level the same battle that Moshe Rabbeinu fought. That's a fantastic achievement. May all of us be in that same position, that we're fighting for the truth like Moshe Rabbeinu did. And as far as the Erev Rav and all of the people that speak things that are the opposite of the truth, that also, again, that's not a new thing. En chadash tachat hashemesh. Nothing new under the sun. Moshe Rabbeinu fought with it, and of course, those before him and those after him did the same. Avraham Avinu fought against the entire world. The entire world was on one side, Avraham Avinu was on another side. Okay, Yaakov Avinu obviously had a endless time against fighting, whether it's Esav or it's a Lavan. These are wicked people. They weren't just looking to steal money from him. They were full of idol worship. Of course, you had heretics and people tell the tzaddikim that they're wrong throughout all of history. All of the prophets, every single one of the prophets was telling people literally the words of God. Meaning, it's not like they would give lectures, they would teach, but they also literally gave prophecy, which is literally the words of God. And people called them crazy, and in some cases even, killed them. They torture them, chased them, tried to, nightmare. Whether it's Eliyahu Hanavi, that Isabel tried to kill him for years, or it's a Jeremiah that they tortured him and threw him into a hole, did all types of horrible things to him. Zechariah, which they murdered in cold blood. all of the prophets that literally said the words of Hashem, didn't just teach Torah, give nice chidushim, give good insights, tell people to do tshuva. They, in addition to that, they literally said the words of God. Being a prophet means Hashem tells you something and you repeat the same thing. You're not allowed not to say it. They said the words of God, and yet the people went against them. Why? Because when people don't want to do tshuva, and they in essence are on a side of Tumah, the side of impurity, they cannot let Kedusha exist peacefully. They have to fight it. Because it's either they're fighting it in order to get it out of their way in essence and not ruin the Tumah that they already have, or even more so, like we discussed tonight, they try to destroy the Kedusha by making the Kedusha fall, ultimately, so they could, in essence, yearn all of the Kedusha from it and give the Tumah more life, more power. But it's a constant fight. And this is something that's going to continue, has started since the beginning, and is going to continue until MaShiach comes. And many of the Chachamim discuss it, whether it's Rabbi Yaron Reuven, Rabbi Chaim Volozhin says it in that most of the rabbis in the generation before Mashiach are going to be Erev Rav. This is Rabbi Chaim Volozhin. It's not, this is Rabbi Chaim Volozhin, he says this. He says that they are looking to build themselves, a name, rather than to build a Torah name, like the people of the Tower of Babel, Livnen al-Shem. It's, if you see people that everyone loves them, the Gemara itself says that's a problem. Why? If he tells people the truth, there's going to be some people that love him, there's going to be some people that hate him. Why? There's people that want to do Kedusha, want to follow the Torah, they're going to love him. People that don't want to do it, they're going to hate him. There's no way of coexisting in peace. So if everyone loves him, there's a problem. There's a problem. Now, if everybody hates him, it's also a problem. Because why does everybody hate him? It's extreme. So it has to be a sum of both. Okay, let's see what our friends at TikTok have to say. Honesty helped countless people get closer to Hashem. Because for the first time in their life, they heard honesty that's brutal, but is effective.